So in taanis 22a, Rabbi Baroka Chazal was often found in the market of Beilafet, and eliyahu and Avi would often appear to him and tell him who had a place in the world to come. And two brothers came, and eliyahu said they have a share. So the rabbi went to them and asked their occupation, and they said, "We're jesters and we cheer up the depressed. Alternatively, when we see two people who have a quarrel between them, we strive to make peace. It's said, for this behavior, one enjoys the profits of his actions in this world, and yet his reward is not diminished in the world to come." I want to talk about the difference between privacy and modesty as something I was exploring. So first of all, modest can have to do with a portion of appearance. Like you could say, oh, it's a modest amount or a modest house. We have to be modest whether in private or public, and privacy is a sphere we are unwilling to share. Just because a person is physically there or physically close by doesn't mean they're available. The quiet comes to live inside when we spend quiet time. Plus being in silent focusing practice can create a legitimacy to behaviors and choices that are invisible in their experience or productivity, and not as externally observable, effective, impactful, or productive. Something can be ostentatious and immodest on the inside and or on the outside, but on the inside no one is allowed to see it, so it's private, it's exclusive kind of. Territories that are vulnerable and precious, we could say, oh, there's potential failures, we keep them private. The Metsuda pirkei by Rabbi Avraham Davis in bava kamma 30, it says, Rabbi Judah said, "He who wishes to be pious must fulfill the laws of Seder Nezik and being careful in matters that may cause damage to others." Rabba said he must fulfill the matters in avos, matters affecting ethics and disciplined conduct. And others said he must fulfill the laws discussed in berachos, the laws of the benedictions. Pious chassid refers to one who conducts himself beyond the requirements of halacha. Lefnim mishuran hadin, the three views reflecting the three forms of human perfection. 1, excellence in dealing with others. 2, soundness and completeness within oneself. 3, honesty and purity in one's relationship with his creator. Rabbi Judah maintains that evidence of piety is manifested by one who never hurts his fellow man indirectly or directly, nor causes damage to another's property. This concern is the basis of excellence in man's dealings with others, since it bespeaks respect for both his fellow man and for his property. While loving kindness, giving charity are truly meritorious and should be encouraged in human relationships, while they are meritorious, they don't indicate piety. Rabba believes self-perfection is the main objective of piety. Impeccable ethics and faultless conduct are symbols of that perfection, according to Rabba, for without them, man is not basically sound and complete within himself. According to others who hold the basic element of piety is perfection in man's relationship with his creator, therefore he must be well-versed in the laws of the benedictions in order to offer the appropriate praise to God for each blessing he receives. In the final analysis, it could be said that there's no real contradiction to the three, because a person has not truly achieved perfection until he has attained the highest degree of piety in all three aspects of human endeavor. Man is composed of three elements: the guf, the body, the soul, or the nefesh, moral self, and the seichel, the intelligence. In pirkei 1:1, it says the Anshe Knesset Gedola, the members of the Great Assembly who got the Torah from the prophets, who got it from the elders, who got the Torah from Joshua, who got it from Moses, who got it at Sinai, stated three principles. 1, be deliberate in judgment. 2, educate many disciples. And 3, set protective bounds for the Torah. In the book God vs. Gods by Rabbi Reuven Chaim Klein, it says there's a midrash that Avram was hidden in a cave as a baby because Nimrod's astrologers saw that Avram was destined to threaten Nimrod and his idolatrous ways. That's from pirkei to Rabbi Eliezer, rabbeinu bachya, Sefer Hayashar, Tel Aviv, 1955, page 21-23, and Eisenstein, 1915, 6-9. And when Abraham emerged from his underground hideout after the matter was forgotten, bereishis Rabba 38:13, the midrash says Avram was watching his father's idol's store and took flour that a woman brought as a gift for them and put it by the biggest idol after he smashed the rest and put a shepherd's crook into that idol's hand. And his father, upon returning, asked what happened. And Avram said they fought each other for the food. And Terach said, "Why are you making a mockery of me? Do these idols possess intelligence?" And so Avram said, "Let your ears hear what your mouth has spoken." So Terach gave Avram to Nimrod. who told him, bow to the fire. And Avram said, the water puts out the fire. So Nimrod said, bow to the water. And Avram said, the clouds carry the water. And Nimrod said, bow to the clouds. And Avram said, the wind disperses the clouds. So Nimrod said, bow to the wind. And Avram said, man can withstand the wind. So finally Nimrod said, he's playing with Nimrod, who bows only to fire. So he'll cast Avram into the furnace, and whatever God Avram bows to will save him. And Avram was miraculously able to survive the ordeal. Another midrash, basically as to why Nimrod threw him in the fire, tanna de eliyahu, Zuta chapter 25 says Nimrod deified himself, and when Nimrod confronted Avram, who smashed idols, he told Avram he was the master of creation and alone controlled all people and heavenly movements. And Avram challenged Nimrod to make the sun rise in the west in order to prove his powers. And then Avram said, don't wonder in your heart, you're not the master of the universe, you're the son of Cush. If you're master of the universe, why didn't you save your father from death? Just as you couldn't save him, you can't save yourself from death. I want to share the voice of my animal soul as the last part of today. Wait, where's the... Oh, here we go. So, yeah. Voice of my animal soul. People seem so disconnected and can be so cruel, but I try not to hurt anyone, yet they'll let themselves make excuses because they think they're right and the other is wrong. Being mean to people is not what people should want to do. Needing to blame or insult, but trusting is hard, so disunity happens. I don't want anyone to feel bad because of their emotions, including about their regrets, but I feel no one should care about me. Why should I only care about myself? And why would Hashem let, for example, I was thinking of Michael, a homeless man I know, suffer like this? Why doesn't Michael do anything about his homelessness? And why do I trigger people, although some are brave and see the truth and are honest to admit when they're being unfair? I wish there was justice in a more revealed way sometimes. I wrote this, by the way, like 3/4 of a year ago. I wish there was justice in a more revealed way sometimes, but I can't seem to trust as is that there is already, and that people who violate and step on others or refuse to see their truth and always blame others will get that portion. I don't want to be aggressive, controlling, domineering, and I want to be a better listener, both inside and out, and absorb and be receptive to the messages without losing the ear that hears the divine in everything, even when the movie or the actor seems ugly, insensitive, egotistical, arrogant, small-minded. And then, if I care about Michael, so what it was I love you, I worry about you, I want the best for you, I don't want you to feel lonely, I don't like to see you in what appears to be a low part of your journey. I do respect you and care for you, I witness you, I try not to interfere too much or destabilize the destiny that's unfolding for you. I try not to control the variables, and I try to accept reality, and I work on my faith that everything is happening not just for a reason, but according to God's will for the best possible outcome. I send a cocoon of loving vibration. I love you. I don't want you to be homeless. I'm crying loud. I'm so sad about it. Why won't Hashem help you? And why don't you want better for yourself? And why do you choose to suffer? It breaks my heart. And then other things from my animal soul was, I should just give up being an artist. No one even likes my heart. Or art. I don't know if that was a Freudian slip or a typo. I'm sad that I was born as who I am. I keep thinking I'd have been happier if I was born into a different body, maybe a different color, or different traits and features. And that my voice and my animal soul, that I'm a hypocrite, closed off, don't listen, afraid of new information, aggressive and defensive, and I interrupt and read without learning, and I make excuses self-righteously that I've been wronged or that I'm right, or such a victim or such an expert. Rabbi, I think we should just continue because we're almost done this last part of this book 12. Rabbi Asi said in bava batra 9a that tzedakah is as important as all the other commandments put together. And Akavia, son of Mahalal, in chapter 3, pirkei avos, would say, reflect on 3 things you'll not come into the hands of transgression. Know from where you come, where you're going, and before whom you're destined to give a judgment and accounting. In the book 70 Faces by Rabbi Avraham Aryeh Trugman, it says the early sages were called sofrim, those that count, the traditional approach to the mathematical strata running through the entire Torah. And until now, a scribe is still called a sofer, one who counts, careful letter counting like diamonds. Sanhedrin 109a, there are 3 camps that built the Tower of Babel. One wanted to see the tower to ascend to the heavens and live there. Rabbi Moshe Shapiro says they wanted to replace worshiping Hashem with self-worship. Number 2, the second group wanted to ascend the tower and worship idolatry. Rabbi Moshe Shapiro says that they wanted to replace worshiping Hashem with worshiping some other perceived force. 3, the third group wanted to ascend to the tower and wage war against God. Rabbi Moshe Shapiro says they sought to avail themselves of their responsibilities to Hashem and do the exact opposite of whatever he demands. Nachmanides says the people agreed to make a tower of bava, one forged object to pull together all the influx of divine energies and this powerful object would receive and concentrate all those energies, and they felt it would make the need for Hashem, if Hashem's direct and influence, obsolete, because the idol worship would manipulate the creation for their own benefit. Rabbi Moshe Botarel quotes Rabbi Saadiah going in Even HaPhilosophem, although some have accused him of falsifying the citation or being unreliable, that the Chaldean sages disagreed with Avraham on matters of faith. The Chaldean scholars were divided into three schools. One group claimed there's two opposing forces from which form creation. One force causes existence, while the other causes non-existence or destruction. These scholars understood that whatever forces cause evil cannot also cause good. The second group claimed that a triumvirate of forces rules the world, meaning they acknowledge the two forces of the first group and add a third force which serves as the deciding factor when the first two forces are at odds with each other. The third school maintained that the sun alone is the all-encompassing God, and the sun itself causes both existence and non-existence. Rambam says in Bava 25a that Hashem's holy presence is found in the west, which can be what Avraham and his followers prayed to the west despite being surrounded by sun worshippers who prayed to the east. We only pray to the east because of the temple, not because of the sun. That's why Jewish people. Shabbos 105b from the Talmud: anyone who becomes angered, it's as if he worshipped idolatry. And I'll stop there. I think that's a good amount of information for today. All right, this is for Tuesday. Bye.